Hi, I'm Marlo Gonzalez, and today I'll be talking to you about a speech I'll be giving in the next week or so about the restrictions on women living in Saudi Arabia in comparison to how women live in the United States. I have experience with this, well, rather with these restrictions, because I lived in Saudi Arabia for a short time when I was in the military. I also gathered information about this subject through traveler warnings through the U.S. State Department. I also found information in interviews through CBS and the French Associated Press, in addition to an article by Amnesty International, a human rights interest group. The reason I think you'll find this topic interesting is because it's a glimpse into another culture, and it's important, I think, these days in these times of globalization to have insight into other cultures and other countries, particularly into Middle Eastern countries. And I also think it's an opportunity to sort of witness history from the past. It's very similar to women gaining their rights to vote in the United States in the early 20th century. And I think we'll see some changes in Saudi Arabia in respect to these restrictions in the near future. But I do think it'll take some time. It's also important to know that this speech is a comparison and not a judgment. Saudi Arabia is one of the most conservative Muslim countries in the world. Their laws are based on a strict interpretation of Islam, and also they are based on tribal and traditions and that have been in place for hundreds of years. The four particular restrictions I'll be talking about are clothing restrictions, driving restrictions, social restrictions, and decision-making restrictions. The decision-making restrictions sounds a little bit vague, but it's about the choices that women are restricted from making for themselves, and we'll get into more of those things a little bit later. Now that you know the four things I'll be talking about in my first informative speech, I'd like to thank you for your time, and also I look forward to sharing this topic with you in the next week or so. Thanks for coming, and thanks for listening.